actually caught them, and you're able to turn them over, you're able to turn pictures over the tops.
That'll work until somebody finds the cameras,
Well,
and then I don't have cameras anymore.
Let's put this up as a plan. And then you might include that in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a very good
Okay.
way of getting
So,
that.
let's go on, move on. What's
Yes, sir.
the next on your,
The radio reads, I got a quote from the company that makes those the water meter heads, and they were, I'll get the exact number, $229 something each. We have 28 of them in the shop over here, and from what I can tell, we have 119 total. Where is this from Sean? Manual reads, water meters that we're reading now. And I don't know if everybody who has a radio read paid for theirs, or.
and I'll tell you up front, Mark,
Yeah,
the city has decided that they are the ones gonna pay for the meters.
okay,
That is not gonna be an issue.
okay.
So,
So there's the,
and we were supposed to have been buying a few meters at a time for the past several years.
they're $222.57, and that's, all we need is the radio, the heads.
Okay.
They, pretty well everybody around town has those census, valve or meter bodies, and they
Okay.
hook up to those.
Okay.
We do have some of the meter bodies, if I do run across one that won't hook up.
And kind of what's your time frame on looking at getting started to?
Well, and the faster we get all these to radio reads, the better it off, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
And are you
and
gonna,
it's-
is Mark gonna be responsible to install every one of them?
Mhm.
Yes.
And could be, for the most part, I would envision as something that is,
But we already have probably, what, 40–50% of the town is on radio reads?
50% of the town's already there.
So
I mean,
it's,
and like, for the most part, about half of the ones that aren't will be, you won't even know I did it. I'll be outside in your front yard, and now there are some that I've gotta be in the house to get to, Mike.
Is that something that you can do in inclement weather?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So you can do that all
I
winter?
can do all that winter, all winter long. It'd be great to do it in the winter time. This winter,
Yeah.
would be great. Cause then we could
Okay.
just be
And I
done.
would suggest that we make a plan
Okay,
and a schedule and try to stay on schedule with how many meters we can get done per month/week.
okay, that's
Yeah.
a good idea.
absolutely.
That's a good idea.
And try to stay on schedule.
I'd pick your trouble calls, the ones that are the worst to get to.
Yeah.
The hardest ones to get to, and yeah, that's exactly
One with
it.
the angry dog and, yeah.
That's right.
That would be a
There's
big
There's only
plus.
two that I know of with angry dogs, so.
Okay,
And otherwise, I mean, as far as public works goes, just, we got the water situation all figured out up there on Carbon Avenue. I've gotta get a hold of True Pipe and get, them to camera that sewer, because there's sewer main up there that aren't on any pictures.
I have a
Aren't on
question
any
before we
blueprints.
move on,
Okay.
excuse me.
Yes, sir.
The funding for those,
Yes, sir.
where is that coming from? Those meters?
The
Where
me-
are we pulling funds for the cost of those meters?
for the meters, has
Yes.
to come out of the water.
Okay, and we have enough funds to
And we
cover?
have the funds in the water.
Okay,
I say we pick a number and before.
We're not gonna buy them all at once.
No, yeah.
right.
you know.
Do it as a phase
To,
system.
to buy them all at once based off what I got was something like, if there really is 119 of them, which I haven't looked yet for sure, but, it's gonna be around 18,000 total for all of them.
And who do we get those from?
Core and main. I priced them out through Northwest Pipe there.
Did you price?
Pretty well the same.
Did you price one versus, volume?
Yeah, he did no
No break.
difference really. I mean, he, like the 229 was what he, to buy one, and 222.57 is what he quoted me for 119 of them. So,
Really?
that was it, yeah. It's not really that big of a difference.
Are they the only game in town?
No, but Northwest Pipe, when I contacted them, they'd have to order them too, and I was looking at $292 each for those.
Yeah,
So,
they're not.
they're not any, and
They're
I
not very competitive.
don't know where else, Mike, would you know of anywhere else it would be a bulk sales
For
for,
the master meters,
yeah.
master meter direct.
Well, that's who I got the quote from, was the master meter out of Utah, actually, yeah. So, but they're facilitated through Core and Main is what
Yeah.
that guy was doing,
You're kinda stuck with their distributors.
yeah.
Okey doke. Is that
Thank
everything?
you.
Yeah, other than that, like I said, the water project for Carbon Avenue is done. We're gonna get true pipe out there to sewer, camera the sewers, so that way we know where that sewer main that wasn't on the blueprints goes.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I appreciate all the work that you're doing.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
While we're on, the public works, I'd like to kind of poll the council members on a question, and I guess this would just be to Bill and Nate. Are we able to give direct direction to our city employees?
The way it's written, he's the man of the hour, and if he's gone, then it goes down to next.
How do you read that?
The one thing I read said, we have no direct dealings with the city crew.
Commander
Mayor,
in chief.
That's how I read
we
it
can
too.
only,
If there's something that a pet project or something, as a council member,
have to bring
we
it to
bring it
the
up
council.
at a meeting,
Yeah.
and if it's agreed upon, it's instituted by the mayor, is that correct? That's how you read it?
We can't
We're not direct
come out and
superiors
tell Mark
of
to go
either
for-
this young lady or
to
that
go
young man.
mow or go dig this up.
Okay,
We can
All
come
directions.
together as a council and
Yeah.
bring up an idea to him, but
Yeah.
correct.
it all
But the
dictates
mayor,
down, that's.
the mayor
boss,
is
yeah.
the,
Direct supervisor.
right.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Glad to hear that.
So basically, if we bark
Everybody
at you, give us
understands
one of
that.
these.
Yeah.
Starting with you.
Yep. All right, back on.
Okay, do we have any public comment on public works, the things that we were discussing? Mike, you'll need to come to the podium and introduce yourself and,
Sorry. Mike Bentling, I'm all for the radio reads. That was something we tried to do years ago when we were doing it. The question I have is now the town's decided to pay for them all. What are you gonna do with everybody else that you made pay for theirs?
Nothing.
well, at the time, when it was decided to do that, they were told anybody that wanted to bring in a receipt would be reimbursed the cost of that.
That was long ago.
But that was, yeah, years ago.
I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
I
I'm
don't
all
know
for-
how
I don't
many
care.
did.
I'm all for it. Mark will have a hard time getting into mine, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
have a
done.
feeling that some of them
I
are
paid
gonna be
for
that
mine.
way.
No, it's not.
I can.
I just
find
was
the
curious.
receipt, so
Mine's under the stove.
Forget it.
That,
I know where yours is at.
that ship has sailed.
Okay, so that
I've
ship
been
is
to yours. I
sailed.
know where yours is at.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Any other discussion for anything that the public works? Okay, let's move on to the town clerk. I'm very glad that she is here tonight.
I come back to work full-time next week.
Next week,
Yep, on Monday will be my,
this coming
Yeah.
Monday?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, good.
yeah, I know it went fast.
Yeah,
Me and Lacey have been working on getting some projects done and getting everything kind of squared away. And
That's kind of vague. What are you working on?
budget, reconciling books that need to be done from a couple years ago. Just trying to get everything caught up to where this next budget can go in and we can actually get it done with exact numbers.
What's the target date there?
Hopefully we're gonna try to get it done in 2 to 3 weeks before next meeting,
So before next meeting,
is what we're shooting for.
okay?
okay. Do we have any public comment or anything that
I
somebody?
got a question.
Oh, wait, just a second. Okay, go ahead.
Since you're coming back full-time, are we making any changes as far as part-time employees in the office?
Well, I haven't talked to Harley yet about what she wants and how we're gonna work it exactly.
I would like Lacey to stay on at least part-time,
I'd say at least till we get budget.
just
in.
to help me get everything finished and done. We are still getting help from Bridger. And then, I have the ladies at Circle as well, that is helping us get everything figured out.
Okay.
So I'd like to have her at least till we get this budget and stuff done, because she's already done it and I haven't, so it'd be something that'd be nice to get that extra.
So you're not gonna need Dennis anymore?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Did we talk to Dennis?
I will, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Next would be anybody that has a public comment. And we have 3 minutes.
Tammy Taylor, and at the September 11th meeting, there was a question on Joshua Cox's deal. I commend Mr. Stapleton for going, this doesn't look right. And this was the map that everybody was given. That map is your sample map. That was not the map of his building deal. It was not included. And the only other thing I have to say is I would like to know where we're at. Has the audit been completed? And have they gotten back to us?
They've not gotten back to us yet, no.
Okay. In the past, we've had audits. I've had to come in here and I've had to ask at a council meeting as to where we sit on the audit. And I get a verbal response of, oh, everything's okay. But there are steps and protocols that everybody is supposed to follow with an audit. It is supposed to be advertised, and it is supposed to be publicly acknowledged that we can come in and get a document. Okay, so I would really appreciate it if it was done this time, because it hasn't been done the last 2 times.
Well, the last time it was done, I know, because there was a pile of them in there on the desk in the office for a long time.
It was never advertised, Tim.
I don't know if it was advertised or not, but I do know that they were there.
Well, I would come get one if I knew it was there. But when it's not advertised and it's not posted, it's pretty hard to come get it.
Okay. We have anything else for the town clerk? Okay, next up is mayor and council. Do you guys have anything that you would like to bring up tonight?
I guess I'll just beat the dead horse again on what he brought up. Even if we went into a 3-year phase and doing 3 a month is about where it'd work out, 3 and some change, give or take. But and that's putting you at $675, give or take. I mean, they're gonna go up each year, no matter what, if we go to the radio read. So here's something to think about. So.
Well, I'd like to see us make some extra money to put in our general fund. We'll get that all put together
And you
we'll
figure
have
out
Dennison look at that and then,
the one thing on the radio reads deal, if you break down the man hours though, that he's putting in doing those radio reads, you're gonna see a payback fairly quick, so. Not fairly
Yeah.
quick, but I think you're gonna see a wash damn near
Yeah.
through the year.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Oh, the manhole. As you pull out of the
Yes, it
hill,
is broke.
I am scared to death a kid's gonna drive by there on a bicycle or walking at night and fall in that damn thing. We've got to do something about that.
I agree. Mark and I have talked about that.
Yeah.
And the plan is
The
to,
liability that puts on the city is unbelievable.
yeah, I know.
We gotta get that locked or bolted or welded or
Welded
some
down or
damn
something.
thing.
Well, I think what happened was when they built that down there and they hauled all that heavy dirt and stuff over that,
Yeah,
they broke the metal ring that goes around it to keep that in
the
that lid.
retainer,
Yeah, the lid rocks on top of that.
Yeah, every time somebody pulls out of there and gives it any gas whatsoever, that thing spins out from underneath their wheel,
Flips up.
and it's wide open. Every time I drive by it.
Okay.
We gotta do something about it, that should be a priority.
Tomorrow, would you cover that thing with a foot of dirt?
Yeah, I'll go pick up a new manual report tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
That'll be
maybe
great.
we'll just put it on there.
We'll just get her taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay. Public comment for things not on the agenda. If you would come and introduce yourself at the podium.
I'm Elton Kirtley, and you're bringing up the liability aspect. The trees down there on Third Avenue have to be taken care of. And the trees, at least two in the park, are in serious trouble. Now, maybe the power companies are responsible for part of it, but it has been reported to me that there's a major crack in some of those trees on Third Avenue. And I think rather than just kind of kicking the can down the road, you guys need to do something real soon. Those are extremely dangerous. If they fell in a car, they'd be dead, whoever was in it. And, because they're really big. And then the other comment I have is, because this town is still in major potential for flooding, we need to have a detailed report every single month. And we need to know what exactly you guys are doing, what the council's doing, and what the county's doing, and or state. We're getting nothing from you guys most of the time, and if we do get anything, it's a limited amount of information because I or somebody else asked for it. That is totally unacceptable. You guys are the council. You aren't supposed to be hiding stuff, and also the stuff on the budget. Why did you guys sit on that for a whole year before you told us that the budget hadn't even been approved? A whole year. That's a real major problem. Major problem. That kind of beating around the bush, hiding information is absolutely unacceptable.
Thank you for your comment. We have any other comments?
Sure. Mike Bentley, I got a couple things. One, you guys had a meeting September 28th on a resolution to do the mill levy. The meeting was posted wrong, first of all, and second of all, according to ordinance 519, you have to have a majority here to vote, which you did not.
Well, I believe it's legal to,
I'm
what
just,
were the other ways other than somebody being here?
according to your ordinance, 519, your ordinance, you guys voted it and signed it.
Which ordinance did it come from though? I mean, if you got that from the ordinance book,
This
There's
was signed in,
50 years of ordinances in there,
this was done
And-
July 8th of 2019.
July. Oh,
I think that's a very good question. And once again, public comment time is not a time where you can ask questions and then get back and forth. So the public comment period is a time where you can make comments to the council and they can take it under advisement.
The other thing is, as the fire chief, I don't know how or what, but you allowed a 500-gallon propane tank to put down there in the alley down there. As the fire chief, if there's a fire, I will not fight that fire. I have no safe access to that tank to fight that. We adopted the
Carbon County growth policy.
Carbon County growth policy.
And just to give you a sense on that, I just found out about that 3 days ago, so yeah, it's.
Well,
addressed.
and the thing of it is we have natural gas, I don't understand why,
Sure.
but
And so the
according
whole
to-
thing's supposed to be redone through MDU, so the services that were brought in there, from water, gas to electric, that's why there's only 2 overhead services still left, because it has to supply the lady on the side of A Street. Everything will be underground and revamped, like even the crap that they brought in, when I found out about that, it's.
Well,
Okay, just-
according to the
we
growth
need
policy.
to,
Keeping his
I know,
Keep it
public
as-
comment. According to the growth policy that we adopted, you, the council, has adopted, concerning the propane tanks, if you look in there, and I didn't get the thing, according to that policy, any propane tanks like that have to be buried.
okay, that is something we need to look into. But, just to let you know, I think there's a resolution in the books that covers, that is not an alley. That property is actually belongs to the trailer court.
Okay.
So, just to let you know. But we'll check on that propane tank. Okay. Okey-dokey.
Next meeting.
Any other public comments? Tammy?
Tammy Taylor. I'm a little bit disturbed. The last meeting, I was kind of under the impression that the budget was not turned in last year. And when I called, apologize here, I believe it's Local Services Montana. Anyway, Local Government Services, and they also have a web page, and you can look up, the budget was turned in last year according to them. What wasn't done was the annual report that was due in December. And that's all posted online. And after talking to the lady, there will be a posting here in the next week or so, because that's 180 days out, and they do post that in the newspaper. But I don't know how, if I totally misinterpreted what was said last meeting, but I'm a little disappointed.
Thank you for your comment. Do we have any other comments?
I do have one more, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Keep going.
I do have, well, I do bring it up, at the last meeting, you as the council,
Oh, I can't get up more than once?
Well, I would say that he can, why not? If it's a
Well,
different subject.
It is a different subject.
Generally speaking, people have, whatever the rule is the rule
Yeah.
that applies. So if
Okay.
there's 3 minutes, then there's 3
You,
minutes. for
you didn't
everybody.
use all of your first 3 minutes, so make it quick, Mike.
I just wanna know, the last council meeting, you guys voted on not to have the election. The paperwork was not sent in by September 29th, so now you are paying for an election.
It
Because I took it over there to him and handed
He
it to
drove
him.
it. He drove down Friday.
According to the county, you didn't.
Yeah, we'll have to check on that.
Okay. That's all I
Before
was
we get our
asking.
elections shipped together in the next year or so.
You
I
drove
hand
it over-
delivered it to him.
You drove it over and gave it to them,
Yeah, I
sitting
did.
over there someplace and they didn't before.
Well, it could be, but I hand delivered it to them.
Yeah.
All right, next meeting is November 13th.
Next meeting is November 13th.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
One more.
What is this? Three streets.
That's, I don't stream.
Includes 3 streets.